Hello! Welcome to another edition of Unboxing Alyss, the YouTube channel with our purple fox that unboxes things. I'm, of course, Alistair Frost. Very, very tired trying to get this video out before I leave town. But as I promised in the last video, today we're going to be covering Gateway Furmeet. It was a lot of fun. There was also a lot of frustration, and 90% of that was because of me, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of run through it and give you a breakdown of everything that happened to me. And when it comes to merchandise, I'm not going to do a separate video. GFM's just too small for that, and I didn't buy all that much. So I will show you what I bought, but I'll just kind of sprinkle it around in the video instead of showing you individually. I'm not going to hold things up either, especially the enamel pins I bought, because they're going to be way too small. So just keep that in mind, and off we go. Let's get slightly less comfortable. Okay, I'm slightly less comfortable now. Good deal. So I actually went up, or well, down, because I'm in central Illinois, but I went down Thursday afternoon because I had a doctor's appointment in the area. While I was down there, grabbed some popcorn I liked, wanted to get some jelly beans from a place I like. They weren't open, so okay. But I went to my doctor's appointment like 3-ish, and while that was happening, they were doing setup. I really wanted to participate in setup, but my wait just to see my doctor was an hour and a half, which, yeah, that's a lot. That's why you have a Steam Deck. I was playing bits of Left 4 Dead until I got charged off a building, and I was like, well, screw it. I'll play Cult of the Lamb then. And I got a nurse interested in my Steam Deck, so hopefully her nephew gets one of those soon. Especially because they're on sale right now, so check that out. Anywho, I think I ended up getting to the hotel around 6:30 because I stopped to get food at the, what is it called, St. Clair Square, I think, in Fairview Heights. So I went and grabbed like Sarku Japan, which is what I usually get. Really, really love that food. And so I went there. Of course, they were way done setting up. I did check in when I got there, but there wasn't really anything else to do. So I got my hotel room and I got my badge. It was like no wait. It was really, really nice. I'm going to continue to adjust my head just so you know because it doesn't fit well when it crushes my nose. And you guys know that. But I got my badge, and there was like one dude in front of me, and he forgot his proof of vaccination, which sucks because you can't get in without that. It's, I guess, talking to the staff the last day, there were so many people that said, well, it wasn't on your, I didn't know, it wasn't on your website. It was totally on their website to bring proof of vaccination. And so, yeah, he would have to go back and do that and get that. But I always have it in my wallet, so I was good to go. And so that was pretty much it for the night. I just spent the rest of the night playing D&D with my friends. Thursday night is our D&D night. I wasn't sure when we were going to start, and luckily we only started like a half an hour later than usual. Usually we start at 7. I got there at 6:30, and that's when I got all settled. I was like, can I please have like some time to eat because I hadn't eaten yet, and unfortunately my food leaked. It like leaked all over my hotel room, so I had to clean that up. It took a while, but we went through D&D and everything was fine. Had a lot of fun. So Friday rolls around, and I think I got down there around like 9 a.m. When I checked with staff the night before, they said, hey, come down at 9, and if we need you, we'll let you know. So I decided to go down, and there was nothing really they needed. I decided to use some time to go to the gym. So, yes, I was that person that actually went to the hotel gym during a convention. Just, I'm really trying to lose weight. As you can see, I'm a very large person, and every little bit helps. So went to the gym and showered, and there wasn't really much I need to do, so I just went and took pictures with people. And I'm going to sprinkle pictures throughout this video. No real picture corresponds with any sort of, I mean, they'll probably be in order from the time I took them, but you'll just see either me or me in suit, or maybe both, if it depends on what I want, or just what I decide to do, just sprinkle throughout the video. So that's what you'll probably be seeing in these nebulous regions. But there wasn't much to do. So I decided to go to the opening ceremony, which was fairly short. And after that, I kind of just hung around and took more pictures until the dealer's den opened up, and that was around 10 p.m. or 10 p.m. 10 a.m. or no, I'm sorry, 12 a.m. My bad. So noon. And while I was in line, I met a few other guys, and we started talking. Got a picture with them. I'll probably put that up here somewhere. And I just started meeting people, and that's, if you're really like shy or introverted, which I actually am. You may not believe that as much as I talk in this video, but I'm talking to my phone right now, so it's pretty easy to talk to an object. With like a group of people I don't know, yeah, I'd shut down. So, but I met a bunch of people and it was really, really cool. I went into the dealer's den, which had moved. It used to be upstairs on like the lobby level, and they moved it down to like the ground level, so kind of the basement area because it was significantly bigger. There were a lot more vendors, and you could tell it looked really, really awesome. It's like, wow, we have way more vendors here. There are a few staples. I know, like Talenchi's usually there, and there are a few others that are usually there. The guest of honor this year was Ferret Studios, and so of course they had their booth set up. I can't remember where I am in my living room right now. I don't. There are a couple. So if you can see these, and that one up there, those are all from Ferret Studios. I didn't buy them during this convention. I bought them in past conventions, but I absolutely love her work. I have others on my walls, like over there and on that wall over there that you guys can't see. But I'm very familiar with the Guest of Honor, so it was really cool. She has really, really nice pieces. But after that, I decided to suit up and decided to wander down and get more pictures of people only in suit. A lot of the pictures you may see are going to be of the same suitors like twice. Only one may be with me, one may be me in suit. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't started editing yet. Obviously, I'm shooting this video now. I don't know what I'm going to do until I start editing. But that's pretty much what I spent the afternoon doing until about 2:30. Went back up, decided to chill until the POC or People of Color Furry meet, and it was about where things I started to screw things up. And so Thursday night when I went to get my popcorn, I accidentally left my credit card over there in Belleville, Illinois, which is about a 40-minute drive from Maryland Heights, which is where the convention is taking place. So I knew at one point I had to go back there and get my credit card. So this time between the opening ceremonies and the POC meet is where I probably should have gotten my card. I forgot. You're gonna think I'm insane, and I am, but that's not the point. I totally forgot. I had to go back and get my card Friday, so I didn't go. I didn't remember until like 3:30. I was like, crap, I can't go get it because I'll miss the POC meet. I definitely can't go afterwards because the popcorn place closes at 5. So I'll try to go tomorrow morning and get my credit card back. But I went to the POC furry meet and we had a lot of good conversations, a lot of good discussions just about society and a bit of politics, which nobody likes to talk about in the furry fandom, but it's really important, especially if you are a member of a minority group, and that does include LGBTQ plus. You are also a minority group, just not racially. The fandom is a fun place and it's a good place to relax and unwind, but your problems don't they're not going to leave you. Like when I jump into the fandom, I don't stop being black, I don't stop being female, and for many other, like 90% of this fandom, when you jump into the fandom you don't stop being LGBTQ. If anything, I won't say it enhances it, but it's more, you're able to express it even more because this is a space that won't judge you. So it's good to have those safe spaces. And I always enjoy the POC panel. I mentioned that in other videos. I mentioned that in my last GFF video because my friend Tyla hosted it then. She hosted it this year as well. And MFF has had some good ones as well. So that's pretty much what I did on Friday. After that, I decided to go get some food. Just went to Fuzzy's Tacos. It's a quick walk from the hotel. The hotel's in like a weird like plaza area. It's got several places to eat. It has another hotel in the back. I'm pretty sure it's the same hotel, or at least they're both like Sheratons. I don't understand. Knows. I don't understand why you would have like both of your hotels right next to each other, but I don't own a hotel, so whatever. You do you, Sheridan. You do you. But I went to Fuzzy's and I think I got like a bowl or something like that. It was pretty good. It was a really small bowl. I looked at it and I was very, very sad. It tasted good, but it was a small bowl. Like I'm used to getting Chipotle usually once a week, usually on Sundays when I'm out of food, like the stuff I've cooked for the week is out by that point. Chipotle's bowls are huge, so that's kind of my only complaint with this Fuzzy's meal. It was just kind of small, but it did taste good. After that, I checked back in with the Canucks, and I volunteered to try and do whatever they needed around the convention. So they needed a bunch of people to cover the 18 plus panels because you have to have someone checking badges at the door for the 18 plus panels. Not all 18 plus panels are more adult. I mean, they're 18 plus. It's an adult panel, but I mean, it's not always adult content. The first 18 plus panel I checked badges for was actually Furry-ooke. So yeah, just karaoke with furries. The only reason it's 18 plus is because we don't know what people are singing, and so they might have some strong language or whatever it may be in those songs. So did that, and thankfully this year I was just actually checking badges. I don't know if I can find my badge because I have paused. Nope. This is actually something I forgot to show you guys last time. I got a new badge and I got to display that at Gateway Furry. But this is made by D.Bruin. This is the one I told you about that I met at MFF that I had commissioned. It just wasn't done yet, so I couldn't show you what we did. I don't know where my actual badge is for GFM, so because of pause, it's down there somewhere. But on my badge and every other attendee who's over 18, there is a blue stripe on the side. So all I do is really check for a blue stripe or a purple one. Purple is for dealers. So I think there was like a red one for DJs, but I didn't see that very often. I think I saw like that on DJ Nightfire, and that was about it. If it had a red, and this is where you need to have more colors. Don't have red for minors and don't have red for DJs. But if it had a red stripe, you're a minor for the most part. I'm not letting you in. With the 18 plus panels, if you are under 18, you're not allowed in, period. Whether you have an adult or not, we do not let you in. So that went pretty smoothly. Last year I had to check the badges and people's IDs, and that's when people got hairy and crabby at me because they always had, they had their badge. You have to have your badge in the con space. But for the majority of the con, you do not need an ID. So a lot of people come all the way down and flash their badge. I was like, hey, ID. And they're like, crap, what? I had to show you that too. I was like, yeah, sorry. So there were a bunch of very crabby people last year grumbling back up the elevator to get their ID. So thankfully this year we didn't have to deal with that. Rather, I didn't have to deal with that. If they, you just have your badge, which you're going to have anyway, and it could just tell me right there by color, I know whether you are allowed in or not. So I did that. Took a break, like I don't know, 30-minute break. I don't know. Can't remember. But I also checked badges for the, what were they called? The baby fur panel and the pup play panel. And while I'm checking badges, I'm just sitting there. Like, I have my phone or whatever. I probably could have taken my deck, but that's a bit big for checking badges. For checking badges, I was messing with my phone. I was also talking to a lot of people. There was one guy there who had made his own suit. He has like a fox kind of steampunk fox looking suit. I'll see if I can find that and shove that here since I'm talking about him. But we spent like an hour talking about 3D printing because I kind of want to get into it. I have a lot of 3D printed files from like Kickstarter, but I'm not in the print them with. So it's something I'm going to look into in the future. I do not have space for a 3D printer right now, but I would like to get one day. Even if I don't get involved with like Blender and some of those other programs, I have a bunch of things that can already be printed. So I just press the button and a day later, whatever, I'll get my whatever it is. So I was talking to a lot of people. It wasn't just me sitting staring at the wall, but there are a lot of really interesting people. I'm pretty sure I talked to more people this year than any other year. Okay, breathe out of my nose again. But that was pretty much it. It was a long night because I volunteered for 3 panels. So it was about 5 hours worth of time that I volunteered that one night. But I had a lot of fun. And I went home, did a few things on my deck, and went to bed. Saturday was a mess. So again, I still need to get my card back. So I decided to get up early, go to the gym, go down to Belleville, get my card, maybe get jelly beans from the candy shop, forgot what the heck they're called, then come back and see if they need help, and then meet my friends because a few of my friends from the D&D group were going to be coming. And one showed up and I had no clue he was coming. But so I woke up relatively on time, but still got out late, got all my exercise done, went down to Belleville. I had to leave a little late, because the popcorn shop opens at 10, so I can't go super early anyway. I also want to get my jelly beans, and the jelly beans were not worth it. I go to Belleville, totally forgot about the St. Patrick's Day parade. Completely forgot about that. And all the activities going on in Belleville. They send me emails. So it's not like I didn't know, I just completely forgot. And the popcorn shop is in downtown Belleville, Illinois. So yeah, that's where the fair. That's where the parade is going. So parking's blocked off, or parking's funky. Streets are blocked off. It's a mess. I just went ah. I yelled in people's ears. I'm so sorry, but it was ah. I just why didn't I get this yesterday? If I had gotten this yesterday, I wouldn't be in this mess. I'm mad at me now. I hate me now. Ah. Anywho, I'm with my little mini tantrum. I get them able to park someplace I wasn't supposed to park. But that's okay. I was only there for like 2 minutes. I was able to park fairly close. So I got to walk, up to the downtown area. The parade is going right downtown. Popcorn shop's over there on that side of the street. So I have to wait for a break in the parade and be that jerk and just tippy toe right across the street to the to the popcorn shop. And I got my card back. I left the place. Of course, the candy shop wasn't open, so none of this was worth it. I could have gone early. Well, not super early, like I told you, the popcorn shop opens at 10, but I could have gone earlier than this and not had to deal with as much garbage. Ugh. I was beating myself up the entire, like, I think most of the day, which kids don't do that. That does nothing. What's in the past is in the past. Just you gotta move on from it. Do not be me. But now I have hair in my mouth, so excellent. That's gonna be fun. Anywho, but I get my car back and I go back to the con. While I was going there, I had to fill up with gas as well. I had enough gas to get me down to the con. I was gonna fill up when the con was done. I usually, if I can, I will fill up in Missouri because it's going to be cheaper than here in Illinois. But I was expecting to go all the way back to Illinois to get something and then come back. So I had to fill up a little bit. It was just extra money I didn't really need to spend. That was bad. But I came back and I was just exploding inside. It was just everything sucked. But my friends were there and they met me, and by the time I got back, I think it was like 12:30. There was a panel I wanted to go to. It was like a car panel, and I had actually spent Thursday morning before I left. Part of that time was cleaning my car. I mean, it needed to be cleaned anyway, but I was going to do the car show that they were going to, have in the parking lot. And instead of that, I had to run and get my card. And I could have probably made that if I had gone and been there when the popcorn shop opened at 10, because I would have gotten back by 10:45. I would have been able to go to the car show at 11. But no, I had to completely screw myself. So don't be me, kids. Plan. For the love of all that is holy and furry, plan. Ugh. So, but things picked up when my friends showed up, and we had a lot of fun. They took some pictures of me. This is really nice having a handler. One of my friends has been a handler for another one of her friends. So she knows all about fursuits, and she kept brushing me and making sure everything looked good, and I really appreciated that. We did get back in time though for the fursuit parade, but before that, there was a little bit of downtime. We were going to go to a marine biology panel, but it was very full. After we left, they moved it to a different room. Didn't expect it to be that full. So they did accommodate and let other people go. But we decided to just hang out in my room for a bit. Went up there with my friends, found out I locked myself out. So yeah, Saturday just sucked for me for a while. Had to go all the way back down and get a new card because my two key cards were in the room. And that's why I found another friend of mine with his friend. And I was like, what? What? You're here? Because he did not tell me he was going to the con. But his friend is a furry, and so we decided to accompany her. He also said, my friend is a janitor at a church, and he's like, yeah, they're having a men's association something this weekend. He's like, it's always gross. I'm not cleaning that up. It's like, okay, that's fair. So they actually decided to go to the Marine panel, but we said we definitely see them at the Fursuit parade. And then I went back up, let my first two friends in, and we were kind of chilling in my room for a bit. I was trying to get ready for the Fursuit parade. Of course, one of the, like, you've seen my feet paws. They have, well, okay, this one has the bottoms on it, but there's Velcro on them that have been glued there by Blue Wolf. One of them came off, as you can see in the video. So I was like, oh, are you kidding me? luckily my friend is very, very handy and very crafty, and she does a ton of cosplay. So while we were sitting there and I was getting ready, she was also trying to fix this stupid football. And we got it to stick well enough to go down to the Fursuit parade and participate in that. Got a bunch of pictures, and I'll try and show you some pictures that my other friend took while we were, sitting there. We got the big group picture. I was able to be in that this year because I actually took it on time and not early. It was like herding cats because it always is, but it was still a lot of fun and got a really, really good picture. I did find that and put it on Instagram, and I will put that here somewhere as we discuss it. And then it was time for the actual parade. Well, like 10 minutes later, it was time for the actual parade. So let me try and adjust my head real quick or tighten this. There we go. So my two friends went ahead and left the room, and it was just all fursuiters. So we went out and paraded around kind of just the basement. And I was really surprised that we weren't going like outside or anything. It was supposed to rain that day, so that might have been part of it. But we did, and I will actually do a separate. As far as I know, I have a full video of the Fursuit parade. And I actually got a lot of views last year, so thank you, people who viewed that. But I believe I got the full video of that. It was directly in front. I forgot my selfie stick, so I kind of had to hold my 360 camera just like this and switch hands. But it's still recorded, and the fact that it's in front of me, I can tell that it's still recording because it's still flashing red. So I do have that video. It is not edited yet. The 360 takes a longer time to edit because it's a funky file type. But when I get that done, it is not going to be in the standard unboxing Alyss video. It'll just be a bonus. I will post it when I get it done, just like I did last year. But after we went around the basement, someone decided to go outside. I was like, well, we're lemmings. This is my life now. I guess I'm going outside. So there's kind of like a lake behind the hotel, and we just paraded around that. And it was actually really pretty. It looked really cool to have just this line of fursuiters going around the lake, and you'll see that in the video. And it was getting a lot of fun. My feet paws held up. I of course had the outdoors, not the indoors. Did not make that mistake I did last year where I forgot to switch my feet paw bottoms. Right when it was about time for, we did our circle and we're going back in, started hailing. Like the hail, I not through the head, but through my clothing, I could feel it. It was like, oh, this is not rain. This is hail. Luckily, again, I'm about 10 steps from going back inside the area where we took the picture, but there's a whole mess of fursuiters behind me. So I felt really bad for them because they're going to get pelted by this hail. But that aside, it was a really fun time. I'm glad I was able to participate in it. Then my friends just took more pictures with me. I actually do have a picture of our group. I'll probably put that up here. I got everyone's permission to do that, so I might do that later on. And from there, the surprise friend and his friend went off and did their own thing. I didn't see them the rest of the day. I stayed with my first two friends, and we went, just took more pictures. I got some pictures of me solo, which I was really excited for because it is very hard to take pictures of yourself when you're just by yourself. Like, I live alone here. There's no one to take pictures of me. My mom is always happy to take as many pictures as I want, but we do not live in the same house. So it's something I would have to, coordinate with her and have her come over here and just take pictures of me. So I got a few single pictures with just me. I'm looking forward to implementing those. One of those will probably replace my YouTube channel picture, like the banner one, because Alyss doesn't look like that anymore, as you can see. Same character, just different, not different suit per se. Well, actually, I think it is. I think that was my first. I think it was Alyss 1.0. So yeah, I should probably replace that with the current Alyss. So that was a time, and it was really, really exhausting because I was trying to walk in these people. You never know. You look at them and they look big and adorable. The problem is they're big, so you have to really remember that your feet are huge when you've got feet paws on. So you gotta do all this. I mean, I look ridiculous now. I'm sitting, but you kind of still have to do a bit of this when you're walking around in feet paws. But I enjoyed myself thoroughly. My friends also enjoyed themselves, and we kind of parted ways around 6 because that was the super sponsor dinner. So everyone who pledged that extra not membership, what's the word I want? I guess like level, like badge level, we got a special dinner. Last year, as I told you in that video, was Kobe, the hibachi place where they cook the food in front of you. That was like an hour and a half wait. And I think it was Scooby who was trying to coordinate that, and he was not at all happy with what happened last year. So they just got some food and brought it to us this year. It was still half an hour late. It's not a big deal. Some people were complaining. I was like, "You weren't here last year, were you?" No, no, you weren't, because it was significantly worse last year. They got Jersey Mike's and Chinese food. Those don't go to what? What? I don't know what that is. It all tasted fine. So that's not the it's not actually a complaint at all. It's just what? These don't go together at all. But while I was waiting to get in, I met another woman who was about, I think she said 33, 34, so she's close to my age. And she'd been like hiding in her room all weekend because she's just, extreme anxiety and was terrified to come down here. She said she needed to meet people. She wanted to make friends. So I said, "Well, I'm Alistair Frost." And I extended, well, my hand at the time. I wasn't suited for dinner. I don't like having my suit around food if I can help it, because I don't. You're going to clean your suit anyway, but it's usually sweat because you're going to sweat in this thing. I don't want to have to deal with like barbecue sauce or whatever it may be. So, but yeah, we started talking. I actually sat with her. My friend Tyler was also in the dinner with her husband, so I got to meet her husband for the first time. But by the time I got my food, their table was full. So me and this other woman just kind of sat over here. She does a bunch of TikToks. I wish I could remember people's names. I'm so bad at names. I'll remember your face all day long. I won't remember your name. The second you tell me your name, I will forget it, and I apologize. It's not on purpose. It's just how my brain works. More hair in my mouth. Ugh. Gosh. So we had a good long conversation while we were eating dinner, and I got to mention, talk to her. She is actually in the police force for, I think, somewhere in like the St. Louis area, and she also was in the military. So that was really really cool to listen to, find out about her. And we just had a good conversation, and I think I helped her kind of, put down the walls a little bit and talk to people a bit more. So after that, there really wasn't anything to do in terms of volunteering. Everything had been covered, and I was very mad at that point because it said I hadn't done any volunteering. I felt like garbage. I really did, because I helped it all, and part of being a volunteer is helping. I know I did a huge stint the night before, but I was planning on doing volunteering every day. So there's nothing else for me to do. So I just went into my room, took care of a few things. I finally got back to Ari-Galaxy, and we finished. I told her Lunar's finished. You can send me that. And Lunar is now done. You can find that on my Fur Affinity, my newest character, as well as the species. So please check her out. But I just kind of messed around on the deck for a bit and went to bed. So that was Saturday night. So Sunday rolls around, and what did I do on Sunday? Fursuit games. Always fursuit games. I did not go to the gym on Sundays. When I'm home, I do not exercise on Sundays. I usually clean my house that day, so there's that, I guess. But I don't actively go to the gym on Sundays usually. I don't go on Fridays either. When it came to, because I went on Friday during the con, and that's because Thursday was me driving and appointments and all of that, so I didn't have time. So I basically worked out on Friday to make up for Thursday. But Fursuit games. Yeah, it was all set to go down. I told you that my friend had fixed my foot paw. Another one broke. And this is the one now that I think the one that broke before was on one of my indoors. So for the parade, I didn't have to really worry about it. She fixed it anyway, but for the parade, I'm going to use outdoor feet paws because I didn't know we were going outside, but I assumed we were. So that wasn't a big deal. But this, yeah, can't fix that. I didn't have time. So I could not wear my feet paws during the Fursuit games. So I just, wore my regular shoes, but I, had my paws, my tail, my sleeves. I'm sorry I don't have time to do the whole sleeve thing for this video. I will try and get back into that for future videos. But yeah, that's not happening in this video. But I did all of that, went down there, got there late, and of course they started on time. I was like, dang it, why? So I didn't, take some time, and they were playing musical chairs at the time, so I set up both my camera or my phone and my 360 camera The phone doesn't work very well. It zooms in too much, so I just was like, screw it, and I put it back. I put it away. I set up the 360 camera and then went to participate. Of course, I was too late for musical chairs, but I tried recording that. We did hockey. I almost died. I was in the first group, and I was a goalie, and I think they did score one, so we lost. Oh well. But they had people switch out, and when switched with me, so I was like, well, I guess I'm playing again. And I scored the first goal, and I was like, yeah! I actually lifted the stick above my head and did this because I am a dork. But we still lost 2-1. But it was a lot of fun. And it was a lot of exercise. That's kind of also why I don't beat myself up over not exercising on Sunday. I went to the Fursuit games. That's why I told my Weight Watchers group this morning. That's a workout. Playing, running around trying to chase after this ball in an animal costume. That is a workout. But we didn't do Jenga this year, so I appreciate that. But because it was just really slow, I'm sure. And I did post a video for the first two games last year, and Jenga's in there. There is not much to look at. It really isn't. I like last year that game where we all link hands or paws or whatever you got, and try and transfer a hoop from person to person. We did that again. My group lost this time. It was still a lot of fun. It was like one person in particular, one or two people in particular, it just kept getting stuck. It's because they had gigantic ears. I mean, Alyss got her ears, but these people had like almost coracle sized ears. So that plus big tails are a pain in the butt when you're playing that game. But it was still a ton of fun. I think after that they played Duck Duck. Well, we took a break. I went out and when I came back, they were getting situated from Duck Duck Goose. I went and sat down. I was like, "What are we playing?" And they're like, "Duck Duck Goose." It's like, "Oh nope, I am out. Peace out, y'all. I am gone." I learned last year I'm too old and too fat to do duck duck goose. I just can't get up. It'll take me 20 minutes to get up, and I'm no running. No, it's not going to happen. With the running though, because so many people fell last year trying to chase after people. No one got seriously hurt. No one got hurt at all last year. But just to try and keep that from happening, you couldn't run. You had to power walk, and seeing furries play duck duck goose, and when you tap someone you have to power walk away from them, that is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. There's people, and some people really got into this, trying to power walk after their opponent. It was so funny. And I mean, again, a couple people still fell. I don't know how, but it was a lot of fun. And I think that was the last thing we played. But it was fun watching people. It gave me a workout. And then the bad news. I went to put my stuff up and I realized my 360 camera has stopped recording. I don't know when. It did get something. I actually dumped it yesterday onto my computer to see. I didn't get a chance to edit anything or actually look through it. It was like midnight, and I had Orange Theory today at like 8:15. So I was like, I'm not staying up super late to look at this. But yeah, I don't know when it did, but it died. Not died, but it just stopped recording. Because when I went over it, it was on. So it's not like the battery died. It just whatever happened. It was like, yeah, nah, I'm not feeling it today. So it just stopped. And I do have a few things, and this whole time where I've been talking about the Fursuit games, I'm going to try and put some clips up so you guys can see it, but there is not enough for its own video. I am very sorry about that. I have no clue why it stopped recording like that, but yeah, I just don't have it. I don't have the footage, so that's the best I can do with that, and I'm very, very sorry about that. And trust me, I'm very mad. I have no clue why it did that. But after that, I went up and I showered. I did ask before the games if I could extend my checkout time. I did that when I first checked in to 1, but then I extended to 1:30, and I was like, it'll give me time to pack, da da da, and I'll give me time to eat lunch. But I don't need to shower. And by the end of the first two games, I was really happy I did that because I totally needed to shower. Showered, I packed everything up remaining. I was gonna eat a leftover sandwich, like a Jersey Mike's sandwich from the night before. I grabbed a BLT sandwich. It had mayo on it, like they usually do. And my mom's like, "Oh, what?" When I was telling my mom about this saga, like, "Oh, you didn't scrape it?" I was like, "Mom, it was mayo with bits of sandwich. There's no way I was scraping this off. I can't have mayo." So I was like, "Well, shuck, goodbye sandwich." I actually took a bunch of protein shakes for the weekend, so I just had one of those. And I checked out. After that, I went down to the dealer's den because I was going to sit in front of that for about hour and a half, I think, until the charity auction. While I was there, there is a guy that was playing piano, just having a piano next to the area, and I might actually like pause this video or something and play a little bit of his what he did because he was really really good. Going in? Yeah. Okay. I can see it. And I do have his permission to do that. I did ask beforehand, but it was again, even when you just sit there and you're like checking badges at the door, you still meet really cool people. The woman I met at the super sponsored dinner was also down there, and I convinced her to talk to somebody to get. Just she was trying to get a TikTok done, and I said, well, just talk to that fursuiter over there. She's like, okay, I'll give it a try. And she, they were talking. They did the TikTok dance. She really enjoyed herself. She also had commissioned a badge from someone, and the person had delivered the badge to her, and she just started crying because it was her first badge ever, and she was just losing it. It was just astounding for her to get this badge. So it was overall a really really fun time. Even just sitting there checking people at the door. Speaking of, I completely skipped over all the things I bought, but the first day on Friday, actually, I went ahead and bought the Gateway Furmeet 2020 t-shirt that, of course, never got used because it was the week before Gateway Furmeet was supposed to happen. Everything shut down for COVID that year. So yeah, I felt bad for they printed all these shirts and never got to use them. But the shirt was like $5, and I got a poster with Clyde, their mascot, on it. Clyde is not my favorite mascot, honestly. Nothing against GFM, it's just not my favorite mascot. The shirt looks, but I'm sorry, the poster looks really good. The shirt has Clyde on it. For as a super sponsor, I got, well, everyone gets this lanyard, which I can't find. It's the darker one. I can't see underneath me, but well, we got a T-shirt which was designed by Ferret Studios, and I will show a picture of the T-shirt somewhere, either here or here. Really beautiful design. I love Ferret Studios' style. I really love her style. But I also got a exclusive poster that is also with her style. It is of a horse, which I'm sure is supposed to be Clyde. Probably the only version of Clyde I actually like because I'm not a fan of Clyde, but I do like the way she drew him. So beyond those, the first day, when my friends came and they were going around the dealer's den, I spent a lot of time speaking with Gobi Raptor. I believe she might go by something else now. She does a lot of My Little Pony stuff. We were just talking about how much Gen 5 sucks. I've kept up with MLP Gen 5. It's not my favorite. I still watch it, but it's not my favorite. But anyway, yeah, we had long conversations about what they should be doing, what they could be doing to make this show better. Da 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 da. I got a bunch of enamel pins from her. Well, I'm sorry, they're not enamel. 5 of them are wooden pins, and 2 of them are enamel pins. And I will show those up here. Again, those are way too small to be shown like this. So I'll show a picture of all of those. And the only real other thing I bought was could not believe this. I missed this at this guy's stand. I think it's Ryu Dika or something like that. That's the name of the artist. But my friends were going through his stand. I think he had like a lot of Pokemon stuff. And I saw some cute stuff from the anime Demon Slayer, and then I saw it this awesome huge keychain from the movie Nope. That's all I'm going to say because it's kind of spoilery. But I spoilers for Nope. I'm going to put a picture of the keychain here. So yeah, there. Don't look at that if you don't want spoilers for the movie Nope. But I saw that and it was awesome. I actually bought one for my friend Anthony. He's gonna get one today, later today when I go to anime. But I didn't buy too much. I'm also still planning on getting a notebook from Talenchi. I've been wanting that for about a year and a half now. And Ari-Galaxy is going to be doing the cover art for it. But we agreed that Ari would do it after we got Lunar done. Well, Lunar took a year, so But Lunar's done now, so we are going to start that notebook within a few weeks. She's trying to get done with some YCHs and some trades, but pretty soon I should be able to get Talentry's notebook, and I'll be happy about that. And I got to talk to Talentry about it and get that all squared away, figure out what format things need to be and all of that. So I forgot to completely talk about anything I bought, but there you go. There's a rundown. So after I left at 3, I went to the charity auction, which is one of my favorite panels, or favorite events of like any con. Just the charity auction is always awesome. I love auctions in general. They're just a lot of fun, and there's some really good merchandise that you could auction off or you could bid on. I bid on a couple things, but there were some things that are really one of they went really high. Punky, one of the staff, she did several like resin themed, like a mug or not mugs, but cups and frames and things like that. And they look really, really nice. They just went for like over $100. So I was like, There was a huge blanket. I will definitely show a picture of that. It incorporated Ferret Studios' style with the charity, which is Got Your Six support dogs. They are dogs that are given to people who have like PTSD, so mainly military, but also, it could also be like emergency personnel, so like police and fire. Like they later on when they gave their speech, the actual charity themselves, they said there are people that were affected by 9/11 that are still waiting for support dogs. So it's a very, very good charity, a very important charity. But they made a blanket that was absolutely stunning that just incorporated, again, Ferret Studios' style along with the Got Your Six charity. And it went for $400. It's stunning, but I don't have $400 for a blanket. Punky's husband actually won it for $400. At one point, when the second they won it was one of the staff that yelled, "And now you're divorced." And she looks coyly at the audience. She's like, "I'm single," and you can see her husband laughing in the background. But that was a stunning piece of work, and it went pretty high. The highest piece was one of the banners for the con I'd seen 1,000, or Gateway Furmeet. It said "Breaking Free 2023," and it had like a fox on it that Fair Studios had designed. It went for $800. So I'm thanks to all of those people who donated to the charity. And pretty much after the charity auction was closing ceremony. Well, there's like a half an hour between, but there were closing ceremonies. That's when we got our big numbers. This year at GFM, we had 734 attendees, which I believe they said was about double what they got last year and smashed the record. It is now the record for most attendees at Gateway Furmeet. And not including online donations, because it's kind of hard to tally, we got about $12,000 donated to Got Your Six support dogs. So that two records broken in one weekend, because that was the most money we'd ever raised and the most attendees we'd ever had. And it was just a really special moment. Everyone was thanking everyone. I got the shock of my life when they were talking about their most upstanding volunteer. They worked more hours than everyone else. Da 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 da. They actually presented me with that honor. They looked at me and they said Alistair, though they're kind of far away and I can't really hear. And I thought they heard my name, but I wasn't sure. But they were all looking at me, and so I actually did one of these. I'm not in the suit when they're doing this. My suit's put away, but I just wait, me. Are you sure? Like I didn't work that many. Well, I didn't feel like I did. I did work hours on Sunday. I worked them on Friday, but I didn't work as many as I wanted to, and I was like, I don't feel like I did this. But they actually presented me with a pin, which there's no way in heck you're gonna see, especially because I can't find it. It is somewhere down here. It's stuck into this. I can't find it, but I will take a picture of it and show it to you. It looks really, really pretty, and I can't wait to wear it next year. By next year, I will have like permanent backs for enamel pins, because there's something I've learned about enamel pins. The backs that come with them often don't last very long. They just fall off. And this is why I have Eda bags. So in case that happens, I don't lose my pin. But for this one, I want to wear this around, like at the con next year. I think the winner of last year's, MVP volunteer said they expect you to wear it, and I was like, okay, I will wear it next year, but I will need one of those permanent back things so I know it won't fall off anywhere. But yeah, I was really, really surprised by that. I was not expecting that, and that was a huge honor. I am hoping to join staff this near next year, like in between this year and next year. So hopefully by next year I will be part of the staff. But we'll see what happens. I know they aren't going to do anything regarding that until like at least a month from now. When they're all dead now. They just ran the convention, so all staff needs to die and come back to life, and then they'll start planning for next year. I think next year is going to be murder mystery, so I'm also looking forward to that. But that was pretty much it. I did go eat some dinner after that. I was going to stay and clean up and help them pick up a bunch of things. Some things weren't going to be taken down until Monday, and I couldn't stay that late. I did not have the hotel room on Sunday night. I never do that. But I did help them take some things down. And after that, I think I headed back around maybe 6:30. No, a little past that. No, about 8. I'm sorry. Somewhere close to 8. Before I left, I think it was Mika who gave me like an energy drink. I just shoved that in my purse. The whole time I've been carrying around my deck just in case. And then I drive home. I set ways and send the thing to or the not tracking, but I send the route to my mom so she can follow me and make know where I am. When I get to my mom's house on Sunday night, I open up my purse and yeah, that I've done this 1,000 times, but this time the can bursts. So that energy drink had been sitting on top of my deck because that's where it fits. I could have put it somewhere else, didn't think about it. It burst and saturated everything in my purse. Luckily, when I got the deck, I immediately got the deck out, did not turn it on. If you think there's liquid damage on your electronics, don't turn it on. Do not do that. You might short it. So I didn't actually attempt that. I learned that on Reddit. Just do not do that. They kind of set it up to let it dry, but I was like, crap, this thing might be dead. But the long story short, I was thinking of taking it apart and looking at it myself. I have no hardware experience at all. I was able to take it because I took off Monday. I always take off the Monday after a con, just the whole post con depression thing. But more importantly, I had to cook, clean, do laundry, and get caught up. So I was able to take it to BLH Computers here in town, and they actually looked at it and said that I'm not seeing anything wrong with it. We booted it up; it looks fine. Da, da, da. So yes, it only cost me like $25. But yeah, I almost lost my Steam Deck during the weekend. Don't put liquid on your electronics. I'm sure everyone who's looking at this has a brain and knows not to do that. Don't be me, kids. Do not be me. But that was it. That was Gateway Furmy. Had a ton of fun. I told you about my struggles, and those were all my doing. Strictly all my fault. But beyond those, it was a really fun weekend. Again, I talked to a lot of different people. I got to help not as much as I wanted, but I still got to help with the volunteering, and we raised a buttload of money for a charity. So, and the support dogs they brought were really cute, and I'll try and get pictures of those. But that's my video. Again, I'm just interspersed pictures and the stuff I bought throughout, so we're not going to do another video with that. That's Gateway Furmeet. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what I do, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I do not know what next month is going to hold. I feel like I should go back to Fursuit for a month and do some Kickstarter stuff. I'm not really sure. Maybe you'll just be surprised. But I'm thinking of doing Fursuit. So maybe you won't be. Maybe I just told you. I don't know. I'll figure it out when next month comes. But it will be the second week of April. It's always the second and fourth Friday. And I believe there are 5 Fridays in March, so I will actually be taking 2 weeks off. So I should be back the second week of April with something, probably for Soda Piz, but something. So until then, I need to go out of town, so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now. I also can't breathe through my nose, as I'm sure you can hear. So until April, I hope everyone had a good St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. There we go. I hid my house. I don't like drunk people, so I didn't leave the house. Thankfully, I didn't really have to leave the house. But I don't think there's anything major going on in April. Oh, Easter, I guess. So I don't know what Easter is, but if Easter occurs before our next video, have a good Easter if that's what you celebrate. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. So until then, goodbye.